Welcome to Techzine TV.
Welcome to Google Cloud AI Live in Amsterdam. We're here with Ryan Chaves. He's head of machine learning and AI at Mollie. Welcome to our show.
Thanks a lot. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, you're the head of machine learning and AI at Mollie. Mollie is a huge payment facilitator, I'm guessing. I know, but how would you describe the company you work for?
We're a fintech where we certainly started as a payment service provider, but we have new products as well, business accounts, capital, we provide funding.
Okay. You're the head of machine learning and AI, so that kind of says all what you're doing all day. How big is machine learning still within your organization? Still, since AI is kind of pushing away ML a bit, but it's still a relevant technology, right?
Yeah, absolutely still relevant. I would say it's actually not pushing it away, it's still growing, but we have this new component on top, which is AI, which thankfully has grown out of ML. So they're not so unrelated at the end
Okay.
of the day.
But you still run a lot of machine learning processes then within the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. We have over a dozen machine learning models, what I can call classical machine learning models,
Yeah.
still in production, working in typical areas like risk and fraud. But we start to combine a bit the AI and the ML as well. It doesn't need to be a choice of one versus the other. We have different tools, and we choose the algorithms that are the best to get the job done.
Okay. AI is also pretty relevant, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
But how do you fit AI in a payment company? Because there's a lot of risk involved as well. Because if an AI makes the wrong decision, it can have huge consequences, right?
It could. We work in a regulated space. People trust us to process payments. Reliability is important. I'm in close discussions with our security teams, our compliance teams, our risk teams, our DPO. So it's not just engineers. Engineers are comprise my teams, but it's not just an engineering decisions to go forward with AI. So
But are you using AI in these financial processes, or is it more using AI in back office tooling or colleagues or internal tools to do work better or more efficient or
we use it extensively in-house.
yeah?
It makes us more efficient, more productive, which ultimately does help our customers. And we start to have new features that are exposed to our customers. We have an AI assistant for customer support that's available in the Molly app. And for example, our business accounts product has a cool new feature, kind of classic one. Take a picture of a bill that you want to pay, information gets pre-filled, and for sanity check, you still need to, you know, verify it before the payment gets made. This is something that you would do traditionally with OCR, is kind of optical character recognition. Now with an LLM, with AI, it can do it better. It can tell the difference. Doesn't matter if it's a crumpled up piece of paper, a bill that you need to pay, or perfectly formatted. So these systems can become actually more robust and more reliable with AI.
One of the maybe unfair characteristics that people will say to regulated industries that they'll point to like the public sector where innovation is maybe hemmed in a little bit by regulation, and in the case of financial institutions that might be the case still. But of course, fintech can be quite different because you've developed in a more modern space. How would you say that working on Google Cloud and having these technologies, how does this enable you to still stick within those boundaries of this strictly regulated world?
Well, we'd like to keep our regulators very happy.
Right.
We're in close communication with the DNB, the FIU, the Financial Investigative Unit. They actually came to visit us
Hmm.
to swap notes informally a few weeks ago. So these are relationships that we cultivate and we share. And we tell them, hey, this is what we're doing. So we need to stay at the edge of the technology that we use, but we can do that responsibly. There's the EU AI Act. There's GDPR before that, but still very much in effect. So for us, it hasn't been an either or thing. We've been
Right.
able to achieve the gains that we want from AI, while also keeping regulator relationship super positive.
Right.
But
Yeah.
requires a lot of work
And
between
right.
multiple teams at Mollie.
And there's also maybe a little bit of a hidden advantage because you've had to have your data in order to be auditable in some ways. So you might have ways that are or might have practices that are quite well suited to having organized data for AI as well.
Yeah, some of the regulations are also common sense. Good documentation goes a
Right.
long way. Is useful not just for regulators, but
It's
also
not very popular on the
also for
developers in
ourselves.
IT,
Yeah.
to have good
Hey,
documentation.
we all need to do certain things at our jobs.
It's not your favorite either, I see.
AI can help with documentation as well,
Yeah.
ironically, or not. So yeah, for us, things like zero data retention when we're interacting with AI models, logging on the cloud
Right.
side, I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to monitor that traffic in terms of security is important. Retaining EU data residency is very important.
Right.
So these are all things that we're really tuned into when we decide which models to use, which cloud provider to use.
And we're here at Google Cloud AI.
Absolutely.
What does Google do for Mollie, or what do you use from Google to make this all happen?
I guess you could say our whole tech stack runs on GCP.
Okay.
Has for some years now. We started off building our ML platform on what used to be called Vertex AI on
Mhm.
GCP. Now it's called the Agent Platform. Uh, our ML platform is now becoming our ML and AI platform. We use a number of different Google services. We started off using managed services. Our needs became a bit more complex. We moved kind of to a lower level. It's great. We heard today so many new products, a lot of new managed services. I think will help a lot of companies that are a bit newer to the space catch up or to build their first agents. For us, we got head start years ago. So it's kind of interesting to see things like like we built an LLM gateway, kind of gateway to access multiple models.
Mhm.
We built that at the beginning of the year. There was no offering from Google for that. We built that based on open source software. Now Google offers it as a managed service.
Yeah.
So we try to stay. We've been a kind of step ahead.
You try to innovate faster than one of the big tech companies, basically.
We try to move fast, yeah, and we have the benefit of having an in-house team. Not all companies have an in-house team. I don't think all companies are of a size where it makes sense to have an in-house team of specialized ML engineers.
But it's also hard to get enough talent, right, to do that.
Hiring is a challenge. My team knows I like to take my sweet time hiring, make sure I get great people.
It's also
uh,
about challenging them, I guess, to keep it relevant, to keep them focused on their job.
they have no lack of challenges, even before this new era of AI.
Yeah.
Now, AI has changed their jobs as well. People talk a lot about how AI changes uh, various job functions. Well, it's also changed the role of a typical data scientist or ML engineer. We're also adapting, like I said, using some AI techniques in our classical ML. So yeah, certainly keeps us on our toes.
So what would you say is the role for like a Google Cloud where they did have let's say the Lego bricks at first so that you could innovate on your own using open source tooling, but also maybe some of the building blocks that were available in Google. Nowadays they have a managed service. Do you think that you will continue to, to step out ahead in this way? Or do you think that there are ways in which those managed solutions could be useful for you to plug in to for maybe other use cases?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. It
Hmm.
depends. But what I like is that Google Cloud gives us that flexibility.
Right.
If we've developed something in house and a new managed service from Google comes out and it's worth it for us to switch, we'll do that. We're not married to any of our previous projects that we've developed in house. No matter in software engineering, no piece of code lasts forever. So we try to stay nimble, and yeah, Google Cloud's been good for that.
Right. Um, what are the learnings you got over the years in adopting AI within your organization? were there specific challenges that stood out for you, or?
I think the big one is that it's just as much of an organizational challenge or a people challenge as it is a technical challenge. There was a lot of hype a few years ago, back when the models were very impressive, but far less capable than they are today. And there was a lot of excitement to move forward. I think we had a moment 10, 20 years ago, digital transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Now no one has a digital transformation office anymore. The
You
whole
don't know what
the,
you're
the,
talking about. You still talk about digital transformation.
the company should already be there, otherwise may not exist, right?
Yeah.
We're going through another change there. So organizations need to adapt. People need to adapt in any function. Like I said, even for people in the ML field. So that's been a challenge. The good part is that we've built, and others can build solutions, agents, workflow automations around these LLMs.
Right.
And as the LLMs get better, you swap out the LLM and you kind of get a free upgrade. So that's a really cool feature of we don't need to retrain. Like Mollie's not training our own LLMs, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel Mollie is unique in a way because you're a financial services company basically, which is highly regulated, but you are really innovating, and I think a lot of your colleagues in your industry are going a lot slower than the pace you're at.
Well, from within Mollie, I think there's such a momentum and excitement that it feels like we're never going fast enough.
Okay.
So when I do talk to my colleagues at other companies, I think we're definitely ahead of the curve. Why? Mollie has always been trying to innovate. Not that started before AI, and for me at least, it comes with the people that I've hired. So I give a lot of kudos to the engineers in my team. You asked about talents, and for
Mm-hmm.
me, hire the right people, and not just for the tech skills. The people that can collaborate and be, let's say, technically creative.
Okay. Is there still a challenge on your roadmap that you have a hard time filling in, or?
Absolutely. These days, now that we have all of the engineers that are using Claude Code, for example, on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
the role of the engineer has changed a lot. Um, and that puts the engineer into a very different day-to-day role. They're guiding, steering, planning. The LLM is even planning. Um, there's a lot less manual code writing, but that's what people were trained to do. So there's a big shift in the role of the engineer. Of course, more attuned to the engineer because I'm also an engineer. Uh, but there is a mindset shift. I think the people around me have been super positive. I think that will continue. The models are going to get better and better. I don't think there's not a single person at Mollie that says, "Hey, we've done it. We can relax now." So there's a constant push to
Right.
to keep going, see what's next. And as the tech keeps evolving from big tech like Google, we'll have additional capabilities that we'll want to turn into products that help us in-house and also help our customers.
And is business pushing harder now on new features as well or new capabilities since you're moving a bit faster?
Always.
Always.
When are they not?
Okay, thank you, Ryan, for this conversation and your insights in Mali
My
and
pleasure.
how you're innovating. Very interesting, especially the pace you're at and within the industry you're active in. And you're trying to stay ahead of one of the big tech companies. That's always impressive. So thank you for that. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with more from Google Cloud AI Live in Amsterdam.
Thank you for watching Techzine TV, the channel about enterprise technology that brings you IT insights and analyses from events all around the globe. We cover everything, everywhere. Visit techzine.eu for more written in-depth articles and analysis, or keep watching Techzine.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and share your favorite videos with your colleagues. We'll see you soon.